Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the main roster on Twitch Sports. We're here to discuss WrestleMania, finally. It does seem like we've been leading towards WrestleMania for a very, very long time, but finally we can officially preview it, predict it, do all that good stuff, as well as the usual Smackdown and Raw discussion that we do on this show.
Absolutely.
My name's Jez, at The Jez Show. And I'm joined, as always, by Dan. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing good. First week back at work and managed it.
And you're awake?
Tired afterwards.
On your day off, you're awake?
On day off, I'm awake.
You were almost asleep as we did WrestleMania on Saturday night.
Yeah, I was a bit knackered.
Went straight into, from WrestleMania into bed and into sleep, I think.
Yeah, literally just fell backwards.
Oh yeah, you are already in bed, aren't you? You podcast from your bed. It's just a difference of quilt.
Yep, absolutely. Just fell backwards, fell asleep. Yeah,
it was quite a show on camera, it must be said. So, before we reveal too much and get ourselves kicked off multiple platforms, let's crack on, first of all, with last Friday night's Smackdown, which isn't the last Smackdown before WrestleMania, but it was the payoff to the majority of the card. Oh, wait, before we get started, we have an incoming.
I've been waiting to see this. Ages. I haven't seen it in ages.
Prepare to have...
Come on!
some squirrels dancing on your face, because with a raid from Retro Oji-san, it's time for the unleashing of the squirrels.
Release the squirrels!
Good afternoon, Retro Oji-san. Welcome. Thank you very much for the raid. How the devil are you this afternoon?
This has made me happy. Hey!
You even get to hear the music.
Yeah.
A lot of the time when somebody raids during one of my podcasts, they don't get to hear the music, so they're just like, I'll just copy Jazz's movement and hope he's in time with the music.
There you go. Look at those squirrels go.
Right over your face.
Gotta love it. Don't care. It's awesome.
Thank you very much. Jaeger, if you're about, can you give Retro a shout out, please? Retro Oji-san is mostly a crosswords streamer, so found him through my own exploits into crossword streaming, obviously. Yeah. But thank you for the raid. You're very welcome. Do you like professional wrestling? If you do, hang around. If not, hang around anyway.
Lurk around.
Sadly, I can't stick around because I have to get to work. That's another valid reason. But thank you very much. Then. We will let you depart. And now we will crack on with last week's Smackdown. You may begin.
Yes. Thank you. So Smackdown kicked off last Friday night with Rumble winner Edge, who reflected on the last few weeks and how Daniel Bryan had weaseled his way into the title match at WrestleMania. Explains that while he was annoyed at being manipulated, he was glad that his whole situation had once again unleashed the rated R superstar. He concluded his promo stating that last week he was so close to nailing both Reigns and Bryan with the concerto, and when he gets the opportunity, he will do so again. He won't hesitate.
Yeah, very passionate promo.
Very
from
passionate.
Edge. He does seem to spend a lot of his promo time now in a perpetual state of being bright red and angry.
Yes.
Between this and the end of the Randy Orton feud last year, he's just aging himself really, really badly. He does seem to be getting angrier and angrier by the week.
Yeah, well, I guess he's heel now. Is he heel?
They were encouraging people to boo him on the Thunderdome feed, so yes, I assume they have turned him heel.
Right.
As
We all
we
know
said
that's
last
not
week,
going to happen at WrestleMania.
yeah, exactly. As we said last week, that's not going to happen in front of a crowd for the first time. I don't think there's going to be very much booing,
No.
if I might predict, because it's going to be mostly hardcore wrestling fans that go to WrestleMania, even under these kinds of circumstances. So, like, maybe The Miz gets booed. Can't really think of anybody else that's going to get booed too heavily. They'll be glad to see pretty much everybody, right?
I mean, Roman Reigns is going to get cheered because it's the best way he should have gone ages ago.
Yes.
So he's going to get cheered.
He probably
being a heel, he is.
Being a heel and being accompanied by Paul Heyman, it's not going to make much difference, really. He probably will be cheered. They'll probably boo Apollo Crews, maybe. Sami Zayn a little bit.
Zayn, maybe.
And they'll probably cheer Sami Zayn until he gets on the mic and alienates people, because I think the heels are going to have to work overtime to get those boos this weekend.
Yeah.
For the first crowd in over a year. People are just going to be so excited to be there. They're going to be cheering absolutely everything. So, yeah.
I just hope Logan Paul gets booed.
He probably will get booed because, he is a butt, as Jaeger would put it, and has called The Miz in the chat. A little throwback to our NXT stream last week.
Yes.
Stelios, good afternoon. Welcome.
Hello, Stelios.
So more to come from Edge on this show, but very, very angry man. Very angry
man. Bless him.
Calm down, Edge. You're going to do yourself an aneurysm.
Do yourself a mischief.
Will you also do a Takeover Stand and Deliver podcast too? We're not. No. It's already going to be a pretty heavy week with WrestleMania, and we tend to just do the main roster stuff. Usually, the throwback NXT stuff is an extra thing that we've added.
Yeah,
but no, I may do a bit of tappity tap and write about Stand and Deliver on my website, depending on how the mood takes me. So you can follow that at thejesshow.com, which I've just dropped in the chat.
There you go.
Shall we progress through SmackDown?
Let's progress.
Okay, so before an 8-man tag team match, Chad Gable spoke excitedly about how he had transformed his tag team partner Otis from human bulldozer to force of nature. Okay. He went on to say that the Alpha Academy was peaking and that they would complete the journey by winning the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in next week's Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. The 4 teams to be involved in that 4-way battled this week in the said 8-man tag team match, as the Alpha Academy and Dirty Dogs faced the Street Profits and the Mysterios. Echoing Gable's words, Otis picked up the victory for his team after a massive splash from the middle rope.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel it's too little too late in terms of setting up this team after Otis turned heel weeks ago and then they just kind of forgot and did nothing with it.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
And I think too little too late is pretty much the sad story of the SmackDown Tag Team division. This match isn't even going to be at WrestleMania. They're going to do it on SmackDown and pretend it's WrestleMania. They're kind of trying to turn WrestleMania into a 3-day event.
Yeah, sort of, aren't they? They're trying to... Because they got the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on Friday night, SmackDown.
Yes.
And then now they've got this, so it's like... Come on, guys. Make up your mind. Yeah.
And they'll probably throw something else on there at some point. Who knows what. Thanks for coming in, Stelios. See you soon. Yeah, I don't really care about this tag team match.
I
don't care who wins the tag team titles. I don't care if it stays with the Dirty Dogs. I'd rather it didn't go to the Mysterios, but I mean, we'll get to predictions later, but I feel that might be the direction it's going in.
Yeah, that's what I feel as well.
Because they keep hyping that, we've never had in history a father and son tag team champions. I'm like, yeah, there's a good reason for that.
We're just giving it away, guys, now, aren't you?
And that good reason is that usually the dad has retired by the time the child is able to win a tag team title. Hint, hint, Rey Mysterio. Perhaps it's time to get on out of there. Okay.
Stay as like maybe like a manager.
No, just
or something.
Just go. Don't need him.
Or something backstage where we don't see him.
No, just don't need him. Just
catering person.
Back to San Diego with you.
Could be a catering person. He could be a chef.
Chef Mysterio. It's going to be pretty difficult to wear a chef's hat over that mask, though, isn't it?
I'm sure he can incorporate it into the mask.
Yeah, he could probably stitch it in, actually. That's a good point. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
okay, so either home or catering. I'll give you that.
Yes, there you go. Yes.
But not...
There you go.
Not tag team champions with his son.
No, just anything but that.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, we'll come back and predict that at the end of the show.
Yes. So next, Seth Rollins and Cesaro were interviewed about their upcoming match at WrestleMania. Cesaro joked that he had a good feeling about his first ever one-on-one match at Mania because swing is in the air. Rollins responded that he was unshakable, running through his WrestleMania accolades. After Cesaro quipped that Rollins may be unshakable, but he isn't unswingable, Rollins became incensed, claiming that he would embarrass him at WrestleMania.
Do you know, I think that this is going to steal the show on night one.
I think so as well. This is going to be the highlight of night one.
I think so. I mean,
night one he's on?
It is night one that they're on, yes. Yeah. I mean, with the exception of the SmackDown Women's Championship match, I don't see many other candidates that can really overtake this.
No.
I don't see the WWE title match being a technical classic.
No.
It's probably going to be physical and hard hitting, and it's going to be enjoyable. But
it'll definitely be physical.
I don't think it's going to be a clinic in the same way that this is definitely going to be.
Yeah. So this is definitely going to be wrestling properly down to an art.
Yes, yeah. And we never did find out whether Rollins and Cesaro had faced each other in the past.
No, we didn't, did we?
It's one of the things that completely slipped our mind, but this might not be the end.
I have a feeling, though, when you're saying that, I have a feeling they faced each other in Ring of Honor or something.
Yeah.
When Seth Rollins was Tyler Black?
Yes, it was Tyler Black in ROH. Let's have a look.
Have a Google.
Having a Google. They were in a tag team match on NXT, apparently.
Were they?
CM Punk and Seth Rollins versus Cesaro and Cassius Ohno.
Oh.
Yeah. What's this? AAW Pro Wrestling, whatever that is. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. I'll save that for later, and we'll have a look. Maybe it will be. Maybe there will be a collection of Rollins versus Cesaro matches that we can watch. But there definitely is one from back in the day, as it were.
Yeah,
that's from 2014.
Back in the day.
Yeah, cool. But either way, regardless of that, I'm really looking forward to this match. I think that this is doing a really good job of turning Cesaro properly babyface. That kind of antagonistic babyface that people really like. But Seth Rollins is doing Seth Rollins heel things, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
The suits every week of Seth Rollins. I know that you are our resident fashion guy. What do you think of Seth Rollins' continued suit changes every week?
I have to say, I quite like it. I kind of dig it, the way he changes. And to be honest, some of the suits I quite like. Because when I wear a suit, I like to wear like something different. So like the suit he wore on this episode, the bright, cloudy look, I would wear that.
I do often look at a suit and think, could I pull that off? And I'm thinking, some of those I could.
Yeah.
Like the Friday night's one I could, I think. That kind of purple storm cloud type thing. I think I could pull that off. But he has had some utterly garish, hideous suits as well.
Yes. Like the pure leather, whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't think he even pulled that off, let alone, anybody else trying it.
Plastic, pleather trousers, pleather shirts, pleather tie, pleather jackets. Yeah, no, it wasn't good.
Yes.
I will say, though, someone found the suit he was wearing on SmackDown, the one we like, the purpley stormy one, on a boohoo.com.
Yes, someone tagged me in it, and for the low price of, I think it was like £90, you too can look as hideous as Seth Rollins. Hedge Nasset, welcome. Are you a wrestling fan? Amongst all the other things that we like, let us know, but welcome either way. Shall we move on to the next SmackDown segment?
We shall.
So with Nia Jax on commentary, her tag team championship partner Shayna Baszler took on Natalya. Before Jax could get a statement out on the mic, Natalya shocked the Queen of Spades with a quick roll-up and pulled off a shocking upset. After the match, the Riot Squad, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, and Lana and Naomi rushed the ring, and this began an all-out brawl between the teams of the women's division.
They finally remembered the Riot Squad is a thing.
They have, yeah. I wonder if one of them had COVID or something, and that's why they just kind of left them off to the side.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's all a bit of a cluster, in much the same way that the SmackDown Tag Team Championship situation is. It's just all over the place, and they have now named a match as a result of all of this. There will be a tag team turmoil on night 1 of WrestleMania, and then night 2, the winner of the tag team turmoil will face the women's tag team champions.
Good, and to be honest, I think it will be anyone's.
Yeah. I mean, I've got predictions in mind, and we'll get to that. But yeah, for something they've made up on the spot, they probably haven't thought too far ahead about who's going to win. No, so we shall see. I've never got into it, says Henshin. However, a friend of mine that passed away was. Perhaps you should check out WrestleMania this weekend. It's a great time to get into it. You can get yourself a free trial of the WWE Network. And watch WrestleMania for nothing. It should be a good show.
There you go. 2 nights.
2 nights for free. Sign up now and you can watch 4 nights of wrestling. It's NXT is on there as well.
Yes, it will be. Gosh.
So, on to the next segment with one of your favourite people in the world.
Yes. Sami Zayn's prophecy was fulfilled this week as YouTube star Logan Paul arrived via limousine to attend the red carpet premiere of Zayn's documentary trailer. They mentioned it was nice to be in the ring with someone open-minded rather than narrow-minded corporate hacks, and he invited Paul to be his guest again at WrestleMania. Zayn then debuted his trailer and asked his guest of honour for his thoughts. Paul did not seem convinced by the trailer and started to explain that Kevin Owens had told him backstage. Zayn started to get upset, but was stunned out of nowhere by Kevin Owens. Owens left the ring, shoving Logan Paul out of the way in the process. Backstage, Sami returned the favour, jumping KO and leaving him laying. Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed that trailer.
I did as well, actually.
Like,
it was
quite
cool.
The content of it was total nonsense, but the way that it was put together was just textbook trailer, and I really liked all of the techniques that they used to go, this is a trailer of previewing stuff, and here is a snippet of the thing. And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Logan Paul.
I just don't have time for the guy.
I don't have time for the guy either. No, no. And I guess he played the role he was there to play fine. You know, he was supposed to be not very liked, and then he is going to be in Sami Zayn's corner at WrestleMania and probably turn on Sami Zayn and get some kind of cheer for it. I don't know. I think this whole endeavour for Logan Paul is kind of trying to improve his public image a little bit.
Yeah, probably. I really want Kevin Owens to stunner him.
I would like Kevin Owens to stunner him as well. Didn't that butt get booked off YouTube? If you mean kicked off YouTube.
One of his accounts got banned.
Yeah, but I think he just started another one.
Yeah, well, he's one of those YouTubers that has several accounts. So I think one of them, the main one that had the incident, it got banned. But I mean, as you said, he just started another one. Yeah,
because that's the thing. They don't ban people from YouTube. They just ban accounts. Because they see it as punishment enough that you lose all of your subscribers and views and all that kind of stuff. So they basically just make you start again, which isn't really that big a punishment, because all it takes is one post on Twitter saying, "Oh, hey, I've this is my new YouTube. Just go and subscribe there instead," and it fills back up again as if nothing's happened. But yes, on the other, side of it, I guess people deserve second chances. I don't know. Leave that up to everyone's own opinions. What he did was pretty disgusting, but you can't hate someone forever, I guess. I mean, I can. I'm really
sure
good at it. I'm really good at it, but
I can as well. I'm very good.
I've practiced for years, but in general, I think people tend to be more forgiving.
I'm not.
Give people second chances, but. Yeah, no, I want to see Logan Paul getting stunned as well. That would be an enjoyable thing. Yeah, and I just hope he doesn't play too much of a role in the match. I just want to see Zayn and Owens have a good match, personally. Yeah, because we know that they can.
Yes, absolutely. I'm kind of looking forward to the match if Logan Paul doesn't get involved too much, if you know what I mean. I know he's going to be there at ringside, but if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn can have a good match, that'd be great. Sami Zayn do his usual trickery stuff, So yeah,
I think he'll just be involved in the finish, really.
Yeah,
he'd probably just stand around going like that whenever something comes near, and just get involved in the finish. I could probably tolerate that.
Yeah.
But what I cannot tolerate is there is still after all this time, no iron in sight, as Carmella danced behind her wrinkly bedsheet on her way to the ring to face Bianca Belair one-on-one. Billion-dollar company can't afford a frickin' iron. Anyway, as Belair made her way to the ring, Carmella jumped her, throwing the EST of WWE into the barricade and ring steps. After a commercial, the match was officially underway, and Carmella continued her assault. After Carmella got cocky, though, Belair turned the tables and was able to put away another former SmackDown Women's Champion with the KOD. After the match, Sasha Banks tried to jump Belair, but the challenger staved off the attack and told Banks she would save it for WrestleMania. Which was another opportunity to point. They love pointing.
I love a point.
Yeah. WrestleMania.
Point.
No, WrestleMania. WrestleMania.
Set that run. That run.
I'm going there. I'm going to WrestleMania.
That run.
Alex Pires, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome in.
Welcome.
We have kind of reached a critical mass of Belair Banks kind of build up, haven't we? And so I'm glad that they didn't actually come to blows and that it was just I could attack you, but I'm not going to, and I'll see you at WrestleMania. I don't really need to see them fight at this point, otherwise it spoils the moment of it. It takes away something from the match. Hey guys, how would you book the Fiend's entrance at WrestleMania?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question. And I don't mind discussing it now because once again, nothing happened on Raw to build towards that match, so we haven't got a section for it. So sure, why not? Let's discuss it now. I was done with Banks and Belair. Are you done with Banks and Belair? And
I'm done with Banks and Belair.
And crappy
Carmella and her bed sheet.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, there's going to be some fire involved, surely.
I want fire out of the cannons of the pirate ships. Just something coming out that would look pretty cool. Whether they can do it or not, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they can. Yeah, my pick is Code Orange Perform Live. I'm not sure it's going to be that spectacular an entrance, to be honest, because they're still playing on this. The Fiend has kind of just taken over what seems to be the dead husk of Bray Wyatt. We haven't heard Bray Wyatt speak. Whenever there's something going on, it's Alexa Bliss talking for him and him moving in very kind of muted movements, or just sat like a statue on the swing set or something like that. So I think it's probably likely to be just kind of a standard Fiend entrance, and it might just be Alexa Bliss kind of leading him down the ramp. To Alexa his music.
Bliss. It'll be the Fiend just kind of walking, and then there'll probably be Alexa Bliss kind of skipping a little bit, laughing and giggling and all this sort of thing and all that,
Yeah, because the thing is, they're going to be trying to maintain the fact that the Fiend is the heel in this. They really want the crowd to be behind Randy Orton. So if they give him too cool an entrance, it's going to get cheered, and I'm not sure they want that. So if they were going to do a special entrance, my money would be on a special entrance for Randy Orton. Yeah,
I'd say more. Yeah, Randy Orton.
The Fiend emerges from the pirate ship like Blackbeard. That'd be cool. That would be cool.
Yeah.
The worst entrance of Randy Orton was from 33. I don't remember specific entrances, but was that the one where he just walked to the ring? I know that Randy Orton hasn't had too many special WrestleMania entrances. He's had whoever it is, I can't remember the name of the band, perform a couple of times, and I know one of those was at WrestleMania. Was 33 the triple threat?
That was WrestleMania 30. He was the double champion, wasn't he? He was the world and WWE.
Yeah, I think that's when we had the performance by...
Yeah, that was when the performance... Because we watched that on WrestleMania.
Yeah, what was WrestleMania 33? I've got a Google machine. Let's have a look. WrestleMania 30... Was it the AJ Styles match then?
Can't think.
Oh, that's the main event. Where the hell are the matches? List of matches. No, AJ Styles, Shane McMahon, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt. Oh, the last Bray Wyatt match. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember anything special about that entrance.
No, I don't.
No. Did we watch that match? No, we watched the
triple threat.
Yeah, we watched the triple threat, and we also watched the
House of Horrors.
The House of Horrors match, didn't we? Yeah. We watched that on the retro roster. Yeah, so I don't see a special entrance for the Fiend.
No, I don't.
But if I was to just, fantasy book it,
Go on then.
like this is what I would do. And I don't know how you'd pull it off. Maybe you could do it with camera trickery and extra things. I would suspend from the big screen or whatever they're going to have at the top a like dummy in the same way that they did at TLC, and it is just a person or a dummy on fire descending all the way down. I'm not sure that they won't do that though. They wouldn't ever do that because there's too much Owen Hart symbolism in that.
Yeah.
Damn. It was a good idea until reality kicked in. Yeah. I mean, the other option is you could, Gangrel style it, and it's just a ring of fire that Alexa Bliss and the Fiend rise up from.
Yeah.
And then the Fiend drinks blood and spits it in the air. Oh no, that's definitely Gangrel. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting question though. I'm glad you asked it. It's certainly got the wheel moving in my head. It's woken the hamster up a little bit.
You can hear him squeaking away.
Go back to sleep. What in the hell entrance will the New Day make? That's a good question as well.
Probably something to do with Mortal Kombat, considering their ring gear recently has been in homage to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I would say Mortal Kombat because I think it's sometime this week. The new Mortal Kombat movie drops. It comes out.
Yes.
So, I think some kind of tie into that. Some kind of tribute to Brody Lee. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But they've already really done that because they had ring gear specially made that had Brody Lee on it.
They did. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Wait and see
if we get to see the New Day all back together again at some point over this weekend.
Might do in a backstage bit. So, yeah. Yes.
Can't think of any other really special entrances that we might see. I'm looking forward to seeing Shane McMahon's ring gear because he's going to have some kind of special baseball jersey in the way that he always does. Bobby Lashley will probably have some kind of lightning-y style explosions because that's where they've been going with that. Drew McIntyre will have fire when he puts his sword down wonkily in a stage somewhere.
Famous
Rhea Ripley, is being played live.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Alex mentioned that. Can't see any other big entrances really. Some kind of dancey thing for Lana and Naomi in the tag team turmoil.
Yeah.
Prediction time. What wrestler will use the pirate ship like a jump or throw people off? Well, as you are new to this show, Alex, I will tell you that we have a long-standing prediction about where the pirate ship will come in, and this is the last thing that we'll talk about impromptu before we move on with the main bit of the show. But we have predicted that, and this was before it was made into a steel cage match. We don't quite know how it happens now that they're going to be locked inside a cage. Yeah. But we predicted that Shane McMahon would be fired out of the cannon.
Yes.
But I hope to God at least somebody fights on the pirate ship.
Something happens on the pirate ship.
Yeah. I hope that they do a traditional kind of WWE style swerve / we make up the rules as we go, and that the steel cage match is only winnable by pinfall and submission.
Yeah.
So that they can knock a wall down or just leave the cage and the match still continue, because otherwise they're not getting out, are they, without the match ending?
No. Kevin
Owens wanted to jump it at 36. He did, and he just did that horrible dive that broke him in half off the sign instead. But yeah, I don't think they let him do it after he did it last year.
Yeah.
The only other people I could see doing something crazy on it is maybe Cesaro and Seth Rollins as part of their battle around.
Maybe.
All good questions. All good questions. All things we will discuss when they actually happen on our WrestleMania review shows next week.
Yes.
Monday, Tuesday, we'll be talking about WrestleMania Night 1 on Monday, Night 2 on Tuesday, because that's how numbers work. First you do 1, and then you do 2.
Done. You can count.
Vaguely. That's all I've got. Beyond 2, I'm pretty stuck. But shall we move on to the SmackDown main event?
Yes. So in the main event of SmackDown, Braun took on Jey Uso in a street fight with Edge on commentary. Just as the match started to heat up, with both men hitting each other with steel chairs, Roman Reigns made his way to the ramp to get a better view of the action. On the other side of the commercial, the match spilled to the ringside, where Uso continued to beat down of Braun, while Edge loudly proclaims dominance over everyone on commentary. Uso went for a move on the steel steps. Braun countered with a back body drop to the floor and returning to using the steel chair before rolling his opponent into the ring. Braun wrapped a chair around his arm and repeatedly elbowed Uso in the face before locking in the label lock, or yes lock, and submitting Reigns' cousin. Not content with victory, Braun attacked Edge with a running knee at ringside and bounced his head off the ring post. Braun then made a beeline for Reigns at the top of the ramp, hitting a running knee on him and locking the Universal Champion in the label lock. Braun was peeled off the champ by officials and celebrated in the ring as SmackDown went off the air.
The further campaign to make it look like Daniel Bryan has a chance of winning this match.
Yeah.
Which we all know, unfortunately, he doesn't. Yes. But at least this was entertaining along the way.
It was entertaining.
It will give, either Edge or Roman Reigns a break at some point to have to face Daniel Bryan in the ring.
Yep.
And I'm surprised they didn't repeat the tapping out of Roman Reigns when he had him locked in the label lock on the ramp. I'm surprised that Roman Reigns didn't tap there again, just to really, cement
force
that home. I guess they're still trying to keep Roman Reigns looking strong as the champion, but I think at this point you need to make him look a bit weaker. So that it's not as big a deal to his heel character when he inevitably loses the Universal Championship. Again, predictions coming later, but I've got mine locked in mind for sure. Jey Uso. It's a shame that he's now turned into kind of the jobber to whoever Roman Reigns is in a rivalry with.
Yeah, he's not very good at the moment, is he?
No. And it's a shame because I've really enjoyed this new Jey Uso, this singles main event Jey Uso that we've seen.
Yeah.
It would be a shame if he never kind of moved back up towards that point again. Maybe, with Reigns not the champion again after WrestleMania, that Jey Uso can start to go after the belt or go after something higher, move away completely and start to feud for the Intercontinental title or whatever.
Be good.
Maybe Jimmy comes back at some point soon. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Oos knows. Yeah, Oos knows indeed. And on that terrible dad joke, we conclude SmackDown and we head into our commercial break for the show. When we come back, lots more to discuss. We've got the WWE Hall of Fame. We've got last night's Raw, and we've got a ton of predictions for the big show this weekend. Just a few. There's only a couple of matches, nothing really to talk about. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 2 minutes. This is the main roster. Welcome back to the main roster, our WrestleMania preview here on episode 54. 54 episodes of this podcast, 54. Daniel.
54 you've had to put up with me.
We've talked some nonsense in 54 episodes.
Oh, yes. Probably more than wrestling.
Yes, that's true. There have definitely been times where this show has been more entertaining than the product we've been discussing, but we're on a good streak at the moment. We've got a good build to WrestleMania, and I think WrestleMania is going to be a fantastic show. Yeah. We're going to get into Monday Night Raw, which is the last Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania. But first, coming up later today, I say later today, I think it actually tips into tomorrow our time. It's the WWE Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And this year it's even bigger because they are inducting not only the 2021 class, but last year's 2020 class. They didn't get to do because of some virus or something. Have you heard about this virus?
I haven't heard anything.
No, I don't know how they managed to keep that quiet. It's had no effect on anybody's lives at all. Very strange. Quiet. Very strange that they couldn't get that done last year. Yeah. But the 2020 class is as follows: John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL, the British Bulldog, Jushin Thunder Liger, who we featured on Rostermania this past weekend, as a stable, the NWO, the New World Order, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, and Six, also known as X-Pac. The Bella Twins will also be inducted as a unit, and in the celebrity wing, they're inducting William Shatner. Who do you think out of that crop is the most deserving of being inducted?
I'll go for the British Bulldog.
I completely agree with you there. I think the British Bulldog's induction is long overdue.
Yes.
And there's been some conflict between WWE and the British Bulldog's estate, I believe. In the same way that there has with Owen Hart's family.
Yes.
It's all linked to that because British Bulldog is married to Owen Hart's sister, I think. Or was, obviously. So. He's no longer with us, but I'm pretty sure his widow is one of Bret and Owen Hart's sisters. There's a lot of intermixing going on up there north of the Canadian border. I can't really keep up with it. But yeah, definitely well deserved. You could argue that he never was a world champion, so maybe that's what precluded his induction for so long. But he was a multi-time tag team champion. He won the European champion. I think he was Intercontinental champion briefly. I could be wrong there. But very, very well deserved. And I think the other person that really, really deserves it is Jushin Thunder Liger. Very influential to many, many over a course of many years, many decades, in fact. He's got wrestling moves named after him that he began at in the early stages of his career, and now they're just part of everyday wrestling. The Asai moonsault gets pulled out at least once every show. And that's his move. His real name is Asai something or other. So, very well deserved there. I even think that the celebrity inductee here is fairly well deserved.
William
Shatner, because just because of, and I don't know if you remember this, but a number of years ago when they were doing guest hosts of Monday Night Raw. William Shatner was the guest host, and in the way that Shatner does with his kind of spoken word music, he did some covers of some wrestling themes in his kind of spoken style. The best one being Shawn Michaels. I think I'm cute. I know I am sexy. I've got the look that drives the girls wild. Booyaka, booyaka, 619. Booyaka, booyaka, 619. It was just good. If you haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. It's there. William Shatner WWE covers. Just look for it. It's hilarious. So just for that alone, he deserves to be in the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame, which is a nonsense wing anyway. Let's be, blatantly honest.
It's there.
It'll be Bad Bunny next year. They just introduce anybody that spends a little bit of time doing something with WWE. So that's a good one. Onwards to the 2021 class then, this year's class. There are some big names in this, but it also makes me feel old because these guys, are from the height of my wrestling watching. So this class, Molly Holly, Eric Bischoff, Kane, the Great Khali, Rob Van Dam, in the celebrity wing, Ozzy Osbourne, and the recipient of the Warrior Award is WWE's own Titus O'Neil.
However, they did say that Titus O'Neil will be getting the 2020 Warrior Award.
So,
but
they haven't announced a 2021 one, have they? So,
well, a lot of people have been crying out for Shad out of Crime Time. Get it? Because of what he did, where unfortunately lost his life.
Yes, he died preventing his was it his son or his daughter, his child from drowning. He drowned as a result. So that's very sad. And he did a lot of charity work anyway. So even in life, he was deserving of the award more so for the circumstances around his death. Perhaps the they have recorded the Hall of Fame already. So whether that is dropped as a surprise, I'm not sure that surprise is one that is kept. I think that would have got out by now. So I think the class that we have is the class that we've got. But who knows? We could be surprised.
Could be surprised.
The show is probably going to be about 7 hours long, because the Hall of Fame is usually a good 3.5 hours. And we've got some people who can talk here. We've definitely got some people who can talk.
Oh,
I mean, it's of benefit that it's, I don't think everybody is on hand for this show. I don't think William Shatner is going down to Florida to be inducted into this. Who knows, though?
I haven't got a clue.
Obviously, the British Bulldog cannot give a speech, and so the speech that is given by, I assume, his daughter or maybe his son will be brief.
Yeah.
Jushin Thunder Liger, I don't think, can speak English, so his will be very brief.
Well, that's that scuppered.
Yeah. They won't want to keep Scott Hall on the stage for very long, because he might say something that they have to censor on Peacock, who have been censoring everything left, right, and centre. Kevin Nash too. He says some nonsense too, and X-Pac. That whole group is a train wreck, actually.
It's basically just going to go up there. Thanks, done.
Now let me tell you something. Actually, Hogan, no, we're gonna move on. Thanks. Get off the stage.
Let me tell you something. And the Bellas.
And yeah, there's a few people who can't really talk in the 2020 class as well. Don't give Ozzy Osbourne an open mic. That's a terrible idea. God. Great Khali surely isn't going to say very much. So yeah. But of the 2021 class, who are you most excited to see inducted?
Probably Kane.
Yeah. I do find it a little that Kane is being inducted before The Undertaker. I'm not sure I like that.
I think it's more the fact that Kane has been away from the ring longer than Undertaker, I think.
Yeah.
It's probably that.
And let's be honest, they want to have a big pomp and ceremony for Undertaker's induction, don't they?
Absolutely.
It just surprised me that they pulled that one out now. I probably would have left Kane until probably 2 years from now, personally. Yeah. But their choice. We'll see what the Hall of Fame actually looks like tonight with no crowd. I think they Thunderdomed it. I think they did have people watching it on the screen. I don't know. They've kept it very close to the chest. To the chest, they have, yeah. Yes. But, it'll be a nice diversion tomorrow as I wait for NXT Stand and Deliver to kick off, and then WrestleMania weekend to kick off. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. So, shall we move on to Monday Night Raw? We shall. So, Monday Night Raw got underway with the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre in the ring talking about sacrifice. He spoke about not having the luxury of going home like other wrestlers, being fired and fighting his way back, etc., and questioned how Bobby Lashley intended to beat a man that was willing to give up everything to be WWE champion again. This brought out Lashley and MVP, who retaliated by saying that McIntyre was scared of him and was quivering while in the hurt lock. McIntyre suggested that they do WrestleMania tonight, but obviously MVP stood in the way of that and suggested Drew should be worried about even making it to Saturday night, bringing out King Corbin, who vowed to take out the WWE Championship challenger tonight. Yes. Very well read, despite me elephant trumpeting, blowing my nose, that you heard, but the audience did not. Yeah. Very good. So you got used to that distraction now, haven't you? Yeah, sort of. Anyway, yes. I'm kind of bored of this build-up now. I think I might have said that last week. Yeah, it's kind of like being
kind of a bit forced down us a little bit, and it's kind of like, yeah, I'm fed up with it now.
So, yep, they're going to fight. We get it.
Get it? Just let them do it.
Yeah, let's just get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have seemed to, more so than in any other year, prevent kind of pre-WrestleMania brawling.
Yep.
They would normally be quite happy to let guys go at it and fight each other. Yeah. Not in any kind of match, but...
I wonder if that's to do with it's the first time they're coming back in front of a crowd, so they want the competitors to be quite fresh, to be uninjured, you know?
Yeah, I mean, either that or they're being really like super COVID protection and not putting people in proximity when they don't need to.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got plenty of exposure from wrestling each other in sanctioned matches, like without adding extra contact. I don't know. It probably isn't that, but it's an idea.
Yeah.
I do like, and I have done for quite some time, I do like MVP in this managerial role.
Yeah.
And how well he is able to kind of keep back Lashley and control Lashley, who has been built as this uncontrollable force.
Yeah.
It's like without MVP, this guy would be like off the chain.
Tearing through everyone.
But, you know, MVP kind of keeps him under wraps. But also, you know, they have that kind of brotherly type relationship. Because after, you know, MVP was held up backstage by Cedric Alexander and Lashley found out about it, he was like, no, nobody does this to you in the way that, you know, a big brother would look after a little brother.
Yeah.
So I do like their relationship. I do like their dynamic.
Yeah.
I just wish that we had a bit more of this kind of build with Lashley and McIntyre rather than just repeating the same kind of ground or breaking up particularly perfectly good stables to tread water all the way to WrestleMania, basically.
Yep.
But anyway, speaking of treading water, because this whole situation has been a little bit treading water since they announced the match. Ahead of their Raw Tag Team Championship opportunity this Saturday, AJ Styles with Omos took on Xavier Woods with Kofi Kingston. AJ Styles led the match early, locking the calf crusher on Woods, but Kofi got on the mic saying that Omos gave them his best, but they still here standing, and threw the microphone at him, which sent him in pursuit of Kingston, inadvertently costing Styles the match after a quick roll-up.
Yes. Yeah. Kind of like what we had in the beginning of COVID, where WWE was kind of spinning their wheels a little bit.
I do think they, with a few of these matches, they've kind of reached the end of the promotion prematurely. And it's almost like they should have waited a week or two before announcing them so that they could have, you know, really culminated now. I think the culmination of this tag team situation was last week when Omos showed off a bit of his, you know, physicality. Short of doing that again this week, there was really no other place to go. They should have pushed it back a week and had what happened last week be this week. But there you go. It's going to be an interesting match.
Yeah.
And,
I want to see what Omos's ring gear is.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mr. Fashion Guy. I hadn't really considered that.
I think he'll have like just trousers and maybe like a shirt or like a vesty sort of thing, or will he actually wear tights? He have trunks.
I think it'll be a kind of trouser
like Big Show
type thing.
It'll be more like Braun Strowman's.
Yeah, I think it'll be something more like that, to be honest. Yeah, probably without the gloves.
Yeah,
but yeah, some kind of trouser-based thing with knee pads over the top.
Trouser, boots, some sort of shirt, sort of thing.
Yeah, probably an AJ Styles t-shirt that he rips off during the match or something.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
We'll realise that he's not actually that muscular.
I mean, he might not be. He's just a huge dude, right? That's how he came to the dance.
He rips off his shirt and we realise he's two smaller people on top of each other.
There's a little person on some other person's shoulders, but under there.
Yes. Be that.
But speaking of Braun Strowman briefly,
yes.
Further obstacles were placed in front of him.
There were. They were placed in front of him on Raw as Shane McMahon had arranged a 2-on-1 handicap match for the Monster Among Men against Elias and Jackson Riker. As a pair, Riker and Elias did a much better job softening Strowman than they did individually, but in the end, the match finished in the same way with Braun Strowman victory.
I actually got a little bit excited for this 2-on-1 handicap thing.
Mm.
And then I realised it was just Jackson Riker and Elias again.
Yeah.
It was like Shane McMahon has handpicked some opponents to, to be a roadblock for Braun Strowman and weaken him towards WrestleMania. So I was expecting, some like two big people or something, just someone else. I was like, no, it's just the guys that he's beaten one-on-one in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Poor Elias, man.
All I've got to ask about this whole situation is Braun Strowman babyface now?
Yes.
Okay. Because he suddenly, when he was talking, he suddenly sounded babyface when he said, I'm doing it for all those people that have been called stupid and all that sort of stuff. It's like, that's very babyface.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you were this heel that was just tearing up everything, and now it's like a handbrake turn. You are now babyface.
It's just this this bullying trope, isn't it? Like, I'm doing it for all the people that were ever bullied. I'm like, dude, you were never bullied. Look at you. There's no way you were bullied. You would just sit on them and that would be that. They wouldn't, like, nobody is going to try and pick on a guy that's 3 times their size. It's not going to happen.
Just terrified of you.
So, that aside, looking to see what shenanigans we get up to.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. That's a night 1 match, I think. Let me just have a look. Yep, night 1. So we got that Saturday night.
Awesome.
Yes, indeed. One of the matches I'm most looking forward to at WrestleMania, especially on night 1.
Yes.
Moving on. And backstage, Damien Priest and Bad Bunny arrived in Bunny's $3.6 million Bugatti. But while Bunny was away from his car, John Morrison and The Miz painted graffiti on it and then jumped Bad Bunny. In the ring later in the night, Priest and Bunny suggested they up the odds and turn their WrestleMania match into a tag team match. Before leaving in a limousine, Miz and Morrison accepted the new stipulation for their match.
Yeah.
Now, I don't see turning it from a one-on-one match into a tag team match as necessarily upping the odds. I see that as protecting the non-wrestler.
Yes, that is what I thought. And to be honest, I said it a while ago that it might be a tag team match, didn't I? Yeah. So, and that's exactly what they're doing. Because whenever they really get a celebrity in to do a wrestling match, most of the time it is a tag team match.
I was just hoping it was going to be a no DQ, and it would be, you'd get John Morrison and Damien Priest involved, but it would actually just be a one-on-one match because it just takes something away from it. Like, I don't want a tag team match instead of a singles match. That's not upping the ante at all. That's just copping out.
Yeah.
Don't like it. Don't like it. Yeah. It's taken something I was slightly interested in and made it something I'm not at all interested in now.
Oh dear.
What I did like, though, was the very careful use of heavily watered down paint on this Bugatti, because obviously normally they're quite happy to wreck a car because Vince will just throw his checkbook at it and that's fine.
Yeah.
But even Vince McMahon was not going to buy a new Bugatti. So watercolor paint that just faded really easily. Like, Mr. Bunny, sir, we're going to graffiti your car. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, we're going to graffiti your car. Don't worry, it's stuff that is going to be able to be washed off with spit. Like, it's really not going to leave any mark at all. You just actually
do that and it's off.
Yeah. In fact, by the time they're finished painting, it won't even look like paint anymore. It'll just look like a smear of nothing. So, I did find that funny, especially how carefully, like when they went around the sides, like, right, don't get it on the trim, just on the paint, just on the white paint.
It's literally just on the paint.
Don't get it on the nice fabric trim, otherwise that'll be like $1 million bill. We don't want that.
The paint, not on the wheels at all. Not that. Just on there. Maybe a little bit on the window because that can be rubbed off. But yeah.
Very
careful.
It is
an expensive car.
The most careful graffiti I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, on a Bugatti Chiron is the car.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't tend to take much interest. Oh yeah, is it 3.6 million?
It's actually only 3 million.
Oh, a $0.6 million lie.
I think if you put if they might had extras, put a few bells and whistles on it probably might bump it up to it. So
yeah, I mean optional extras in a Bugatti is a heater,
steering wheel,
like a seat cover or something.
To the car, optional extra is wheels.
Yeah, cargo fast. You want cargo pretty? Extra money.
Want a window?
It's got a window. If you want it to go up and down, that's an extra $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But I tend not to pay too much attention to cars that I will never ever be able to drive or afford. So that's Bugatti kind of passes me by
way off.
But there we go.
Yes,
it was nice to see one be painted. With finger painting like the Miz did. That was fun.
Watercolours.
Yes, moving on. It's you.
It was me. Sorry, I got confused. The next match on Raw saw Raw Women's Champion Asuka team with her challenger this Sunday, Rhea Ripley, to take on the Women's Tag Team Champions Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Match looked in hand for Asuka and Ripley, but just as the Empress was ready to put the match away, Ripley pushed her off the top turnbuckle to the outside of the ring, bounced her off the ring steps, and threw her back into the ring to be defeated by the Women's Tag Team Champions. During the match, it was announced that Jax and Baszler would defend their titles on Sunday night against the winner of a 14 tag team turmoil featuring Natalya and Tamina, Bright Squad, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, and Lana and Naomi.
So this is 2 weeks in a row now, and pretty much the entire rivalry so far, in which Rhea Ripley has got the best of Asuka and left her laying. So, to me, that doesn't bode well for Ripley's chances at WrestleMania, unless they're really kind of, marginalizing Asuka and pushing her out of the way.
Yeah.
Which is possible, but I hope they're not. And I still don't like this kind of cocky heel Rhea Ripley. I just don't dig it.
No, I don't either.
It's not interesting to me. It's just someone needs to give her a slap, really. And I'm just waiting for the day that she has her ear ripped off with those massive flesh tunnels in them.
No.
It's going to happen at some point, and it's going to be horrific. And
it'll be painful.
And there won't be any sympathy from me. You did that to yourself.
Yeah.
You knew what your profession was and how risky it was to have massive things. Ears. Yeah, to have a massive hole in your ear that could get a finger or a button or one of the spikes from your own ring gear or anything in it and rip off the rest of your ear. So more power to you.
Yeah.
If you do the crime, be prepared to do the time. And I think this is going to be the weaker of the two women's championship matches over the weekend.
Yeah, I think so.
Not because of who these women are, but just because they haven't built Asuka as the badass that she is.
No.
I don't know. We shall see. And we've already discussed the tag team turmoil, so we are ready to progress. And continuing from the start of Raw, and stemming from their breakup last week, Cedric Alexander and WWE Champion Bobby Lashley went 1-on-1. Before the match, Shelton Benjamin sneak attacked Lashley, trying to weaken him for the match. And despite brief flurries of offense from Alexander, Lashley kept the match in hand throughout, eventually passing out Cedric with the Hurt Lock. After the match, he passed out Shelton Benjamin in the Hurt Lock for good measure and cemented his dominance on the final stop of the road to WrestleMania.
Yes.
There's not very much to add on last week's discussion where we questioned why they were breaking up the Hurt Business, other than to say that the wrestling world seems to have come out and agreed with us, and nobody really understands why they've decided to break up the Hurt Business.
Yeah. Guess they're going to get some new people in for the Hurt Business. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or I did see a theory that this was to get Brock Lesnar face with Lashley because, see, Brock Lesnar's good friends, Shelton Benjamin. I think it's a very long shot on that, but
yeah, I do as well, because I don't think if you are in talks to bring Brock Lesnar back, I don't think you give up the opportunity to have that match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So, unless they're going to keep it for SummerSlam, I don't see it. And it would be too early to break up the Hurt Business if they were building towards SummerSlam. We're months away from that. So, no, I don't see it. I just think it's not knowing how to do stables and like, let's break up all the stables, buy Retribution, buy Hurt Business.
Yeah,
we're back to having no
break
stables
up all the
again.
tag teams.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yep.
And we'll be back to Lashley's opponent to finish off Raw, but we have one other segment to get through first. Yeah.
So, since last week's Raw, a United States Championship match had been named between Sheamus and Riddle for the United States Championship. Riddle once again took on Mustafa Ali, with Sheamus on commentary at ringside. Riddle used the presence of the Celtic Warrior as motivation and once again put away Ali after Bro Derek.
Bro.
Oh.
I only have one thing to say about this, and it's not really about the match. The match is going to be cool. I'm looking forward to Riddle and Sheamus, but it seemed in the backstage segments, especially when Riddle was talking to the New Day, that they are fully foreshadowing what we talked about last week, and that is a backstage meeting of Riddle and Rob Van Dam.
Please.
Because they kept dropping the nobody gets higher type references.
Yeah.
Which was, one of Van Dam's catchphrases. Nobody gets higher than Rob Van Dam. So I'm looking forward to that being a thing, I think. Yeah. Ali has joined us the field of jobbers to the stars. Once again, losing to Riddle. It was one of the better matches that they've had out of their series, actually.
Yeah.
I think,
absolutely,
it's probably the best one that they had, which is weird because it wasn't for the title and it was just to, give Riddle a win going towards WrestleMania, but I enjoyed the actual match.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Okay, on to the main event then.
Yeah.
Which was a bizarre one. While Bobby Lashley passed through his roadblock earlier in the night, Drew McIntyre still had to overcome his in Raw's main event. Attempting to remove and replace Drew from the WrestleMania main event was King Corbin. The match was extremely physical, and there were many points in which it appeared Corbin might defeat the number one contender, but after trying to use MVP's cane on McIntyre, Corbin fell to the Claymore. Lashley came out to the stage, and the WrestleMania opponents stared each other down as Raw went off the air.
Yeah.
Treading water and bringing in other people to join in the treading of the water, basically.
Yes.
I don't think we needed King Corbin in this at all.
No.
But yes.
Anyway, King Corbin's supposed to be on Smackdown anyway.
He is, and it's, without kind of a main rivalry of his own.
Yeah.
Then I guess they're just, let's just bring someone who is kind of Lashley-esque and can have a physical match and be a potential threat to Drew McIntyre. But ultimately not really do anything.
Exactly.
So as far as the two shows go, I think SmackDown did a much better job of building towards WrestleMania.
Yeah,
that got me more excited. Whereas I think Raw peaked a bit too early in their build. And there are many more kind of Raw matches on night one than there are night two. So I think that is really telling of who has been doing the best job of building. That's what I feel personally, anyway. Yeah. So, it is now time to move on to our prediction section of the show. So I will just...
Oh, yes.
Procure my precious...
What, because you're 3-0?
Shut up.
Because I'm winning.
I'm happy to say I'm 3-0 if you like.
You're the O.
Oh.
As in, oh my god, I'm winning.
So this is the main roster championship belt. It is awarded to the winner of the prediction game over the course of the year. I'm the 2020 winner. On the
COVID winner.
The COVID winner. I have won COVID. On the 2021 front, unfortunately, regrettably, inexplicably, Dan is currently 3-0, having won all of the pay-per-view events so far. But WrestleMania, I think I can get a W in one of those columns.
We'll have to see.
We will have to see.
Knowing our luck, knowing ours, we'll tie.
Oh my god, yeah, there are so many matches. I'm sure we will tie. It would be so weird if we tied. I don't know how we'd manage that. So we've got the two matches from SmackDown to predict, as well as night 1 and night 2. Strap in. There are a lot of matches. It may take a little while. Okay. So first of all, on SmackDown, we have a match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. It's the Dirty Dogs against the Street Profits, against the Alpha Academy, against the Mysterios. Who do you have in this? And I will keep notes as we go.
So I'm a bit torn here. I feel it could either be the Street Profits or the Mysterios.
Okay.
I'm leaning a bit more towards the Mysterios because of what we said earlier. They've been saying it so many times that never before in history, all that rubbish. So I think I'm going to say the Mysterios.
Yeah, that's the direction I was going in as well. I think they've been talking about it too much, and the belts are so irrelevant that it doesn't matter who they go on. Yep. So, yeah, I think they're putting a belt on Dominic for the first time, and the Mysterios are going to win the tag team championships.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's not going to get us anywhere in our game because we have agreed that we will either win or lose together on that front.
Yes.
I would be very surprised if we picked the same person for the next match, though. Next on SmackDown is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And they have, or at least the WWE on Fox Twitter released a graphic that had the 22 participants in this match. So here is our choice.
Okay.
Our
Take a deep breath.
Akira Tozawa, Angel Garza, Cedric Alexander, Drew Gulak, Elias, Eric, Gran Metalik, Humberto Carrillo, Jackson Riker, Jey Uso, Kalisto, King Corbin, Lince Dorado, Mace, Murphy, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, Shelton Benjamin, Shinsuke Nakamura, Slapjack, T-Bar, and Tucker.
Whoa!
That's right. Tucker is in this match.
I'm going to choose Tucker then, because screw it.
Really?
Yeah, screw it.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's one that you won't win. I like that. I am going to out of that selection, and they better just be those guys. If they put an extra person in, I'm going to be mighty annoyed. But from that selection, I am going to choose Ricochet as the winner.
Good idea. Ricochet.
Or Ricochet, as I like to call him.
Ricochet.
Yeah, I think they want to kind of throw him a bone of some kind of accolade without actually giving him a championship belt. So the Memorial Battle Royal is the way to do that.
Okay. Even though it's not on WrestleMania. Yeah. And they've completely dropped the idea of the women's one, thankfully. After all the controversy that caused. Now, would you like to read out the matches for night 1? Yes. So, first we have Lana and Naomi versus Dana Brooke. Lana and Naomi versus Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose versus the Riot Squad, Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott, versus Natalya and Tamina in a tag team turmoil match.
Now, they've been building this for quite some time.
Yes.
Even though they've only named the actual match this week. And in traditional WWE fashion, they haven't really given any kind of team any momentum. But the team I think that's going to win this and go on to have the tag team title shot is Lana and Naomi.
I want to see Riot Squad go through, obviously. However, I agree with you.
Ugh, do you have to? Yeah. It just seems, the more established kind of rivalry.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll play, when Lana and Naomi win, before the match on night 2, they'll play a montage of all the times that Lana was put through the table by Nia Jax and
will they?
And all that kind of stuff. So I just think they're the most likely candidate for a title shot.
Yeah.
Well, at least that'll make the predicting the championship match the next day a bit easier, because we both think it's going to be the same person.
So next we have Bad Bunny and Damien Priest versus The Miz and John Morrison.
I expect we'll probably agree here as well. I think Bad Bunny and Damien Priest are going to win.
Yep.
Nice, easy prediction.
Yep. So, carrying on.
Mm-hmm.
Be The New Day, which is Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, who are the champions, versus AJ Styles and Omos for the Raw Tag Team Championships. What do you think?
I think the new kid and the veteran win it. I think AJ Styles and Omos walk away with the tag team titles.
Agree.
This is going well. This is going to be a tie because I think we've disagreed on one thing so far, and that's the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which will tie because neither of our people will win.
Yeah, exactly. No, what will happen? It will come down to those. It will come down to those two and one other person, and that one other person will win.
Yeah. Yeah. God.
Oh.
Okay,
Anyway.
so we both say AJ Styles and Omos.
Next up, we have Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon in a cage match.
I think that Braun Strowman completes his revenge and defeats Shane McMahon.
So do I. Oh, mate. Moving on.
Yeah, not much else we can do, is there?
Cesaro versus Seth Rollins.
We might disagree on this one. We'll see. I think that Seth Rollins is going to cheat to win.
Ooh. I think Cesaro is going to win.
Hooray, we differ.
Oh.
There we go. That's at least one match in which one of us will get a point.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, we have Sasha Banks, the SmackDown Women's Champion, versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Champions.
I think Bianca Belair has to win. I don't think there's any real alternative other than putting the belt on her after winning the Royal Rumble and being pushed to the top. It would completely destroy her if she didn't.
Yep, I completely agree. Again.
Right. So what's going to be the main event of night one?
Yes. So we have Bobby Lashley, who's the champion with MVP, versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship.
This is one I'm not fully sure about.
I'm not sure on it either.
So I've been, thinking about this one right up until now, basically. I haven't had a clear idea in my head. I'm going to go Drew McIntyre. Just because I think they're going to give him the moment that he didn't get to have last year because he won the title in an empty arena.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with you because of the same reasons.
Yeah.
So, and it does, to be fair, it does make sense.
Yeah, I mean, for Drew to lose the title and then, out of nowhere they put it on Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
It just seems like it was the plan all along to give Drew that moment in front of the crowd.
Yeah.
Do you think he comes out to Broken Dreams instead of his current song?
I would like that.
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
I think that would be really cool. I don't think it's going to happen though.
He wants
it.
I know that he wants it.
No, I know WWE still own the rights to that song.
Yeah.
Because they sell it.
Yes. And it's not a CFO's track, so it's not dead to them.
No. So
it predates CFOs. CFO dollar, whatever you want to call them.
Maybe.
Possibly. Yeah. You're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Okay.
There's a chance.
I can live with the chance, Daniel. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
On to night two then, which I expect will begin with the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler will face, if we're correct, the team of Lana and Naomi, or equally Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, the Riot Squad, or Natalya and Tamina.
Yes.
Who have you got?
If it's who we've said on the turmoil, I think Lana and Naomi will win.
Okay.
Just for the fun. And kind of like Lana's whole redemption of getting back at them or both and all this, getting back at Nia.
So I'm not going to let you quite get away with that.
Okay.
If you have to either go all in on whoever the winner of the tag team turmoil is, or you've got to stick with the champs. So, are you sticking with the winner of the tag team turmoil, whoever it may be? Yeah,
I'll stick with the winners of the tag team turmoil.
Damn, I was hoping to
Wherever it may
deflect you
be.
because I'm going with the winner of the tag team tournament match as well. I just think that they've had their time with the belts and they're sowing the seeds of discontent with Shayna and Nia and throwing Reginald in that mix. So I think their time is done with the belts and it's time for another team to take that ball and run with it and travel around Raw and SmackDown. Next up, the United States Championship. Riddle defends against Sheamus.
Yes. Bit of a tough one, but I think I'm going to stick with Riddle. I think he's going to defend it because I think I know they've had a bit of a rivalry, but I don't think it's had a very big build up to the rivalry.
No,
like the rest of them. So I think Riddle's going to defend it, retain, should I say?
If not to just differ, but also because I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I'm going to go Sheamus. I think that they've been really keen on Sheamus recently, and he had a hard time in the Drew McIntyre situation. It was going to be that he would have a shot at the WWE title, and then they mixed things around, and that never happened really. So I think that they might give him a little run with the US title and continue this rivalry with Riddle, and they might go back and forth a little bit. I don't know. Yeah. But I think Sheamus is leaving with the belt.
We're different.
It's got to happen sometime, right?
Yeah.
Next, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, accompanied by Logan Paul.
I think Kevin Owens.
Okay. I'm just going to differ.
I hope Logan Paul gets stunned.
I think Logan Paul will get stunned. But yeah, I'm just going to go Sami Zayn to differ and hope that Sami cheats to win.
Yeah.
He's got to win something at some point. Kevin Owens can't keep winning at WrestleMania, surely.
Well, maybe he can.
Maybe he can. I hope he gets knocked the F out, says Jaeger. I assume you mean Logan Paul.
Yeah, I'd like to see that as well.
Yeah.
Logan Paul gets shot out of the cannon.
Boom. Literally. Boom.
There you go. Done.
So I'll go Zayn, just to be different. Next, in a Nigerian drum fight for the Intercontinental Championship, Big E will defend against Apollo Crews.
So I think Apollo will win this.
I completely agree, yes.
Because, whatever the hell a Nigerian drum fight is, I just think he's lost so many times. He's surely going to win. Surely got to win, unless WWE really don't like Nigeria.
Yeah. No, and for the same reasons, I think Apollo Crews is going to win because he's lost every opportunity so far. They really want this character to go somewhere, I think, and so he needs the belt to do that, and it's going to be his big moment.
Absolutely.
Next, getting to the tasty end of the show now, The Fiend with Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton.
I think The Fiend.
Yeah, I think The Fiend as well. Yeah, I really don't think that Randy Orton's going to get much of a look in.
No, I don't, and I just want to see more of Alexa Bliss. So,
don't know to what extent she'll be at ringside. She might just lead him to ringside and then get out of there. But
I hope she stays.
Will we see extra Fiend? Because the rumor is true, and it's actually not Bray Wyatt under there. It's Bo Dallas.
I hope so.
Me too.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Do an official prediction on that, but
no. It's a more of a fingers crossed sort of thing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So
next, Asuka will defend the Raw Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley.
I think Asuka's going to retain.
Oh.
They were just too like-minded.
See, that's the way I was going to go, but now that you've said that, I might differ.
Too like-minded.
I mean, Asuka has, pretty much just been dominated the entire time, so I suppose, she's due to come back and, put the cocky upstart away, but they really dig Rhea Ripley, so maybe it's all by design. I'm going to go Rhea Ripley.
Anyway.
I'm just going to go Rhea Ripley. I'm just going to do it.
Go for it.
And in the Night 2 main event, Roman Reigns will defend the Universal Championship against Edge and Daniel Bryan in a triple threat match.
I think Edge.
Damn it. Yeah, I think Edge as well. As much as I'd love...
This has been building for ages. I think that Edge is going to win a championship.
Yeah.
I think this is it.
No, you know what? I'm not doing it. You can have Edge. I am going to go Roman Reigns retains.
Ooh.
Because, this weird heel turn.
Yeah.
It's just a weird heel turn, and I don't know what benefit there is to turning Edge heel and then give him the title in front of the crowd for the first time. It's just weird. So I think we're just going to push Edge off the deep end, and he's going to go nuts and annihilate people, and then eventually win the belt down the line. I think, I'm going Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns retains because Edge and Daniel Bryan just tear strips out of each other and Reigns picks up the scraps. There, I'm differing. I'm doing it.
Okay, good.
I may regret this and you're going to go 4-0 on the year, but risky business for my beloved championship belt.
I got him.
Devilish Monkey, welcome to the stream. This is the main roster. It's a WWE wrestling podcast. You joined us right at the end as we finished prediction
bit late
for WrestleMania. But we are predicted. We've pretty much agreed on most of it. We've differed on the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. We've differed on Cesaro and Rollins. We've differed on Riddle and Sheamus. We've differed on Owens and Zayn. Okay, we've differed a fair bit now that I look back. And we've also differed on the Raw Women's title and the Universal title. So there will be a winner, I think. I think it's going to be very unlikely that we tie. Touch wood.
Yeah.
I don't like ties. I don't like a draw. That's not going to help us. I don't want to double or nothing WrestleMania into whatever the next pay-per-view is. Payback, is it?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Probably is Payback.
Probably is. They like to do that, don't they?
Yep.
But there we are.
There we are.
So, as we come to the end of this episode of the main roster, there's a slight announcement for us to make, and that is that the main roster is changing time as of next week for our WrestleMania reviews. The main roster will be moving to 8:30 p.m. on Tuesdays, back into the evening in British time. But we'll be on 2 nights next week. On Monday at 8:30, we'll be going through night 1 of WrestleMania and Smackdown as well. And then on night 2, we'll do that on Tuesday in our normal, now new regular time slot.
Yeah. Excitingness.
I am thoroughly looking forward to WrestleMania. Are you going to stay up for either of them? You're working the whole weekend, aren't you?
I'm working the whole weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm not staying up.
No. And I have a 3-year-old, so I'm not staying up either.
No.
Pretty dull, aren't we? Really?
Yeah. We're old.
We're old. Speak for yourself, young man who's like way younger than me, but whatever.
27.
Yeah, that's way younger than me.
Anyway, 1994.
Anyway, all of you children of the 90s and onwards, I'm going to sit here, feel old, hug my championship belt that I refuse to relinquish, and we'll see you next week for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
And this is the main roster. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bye.